Hi, this is Paula Gloria, and this show is called Farther Down the Rabbit Hole because we like to go into topics more deeply. Today we're going to go into the topic much more deeply about corruption in Ulster County. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an audio recording. It's about 11 minutes of my discussion with my husband, Joe Barton, in a lawyer's office on taking my battery abuse case when a policeman dragged me out of a car and beat me on the hood of his car and then handcuffed me and threw me in the back seat with Joe when he was already handcuffed. So what we're going to do is consider whether you can get a fair shake in Ulster County. And what I have up here is the Sheriff's Department, and as the discussion that we're having in the lawyer's office continues, I'll be moving you through this website, which I've enlarged, but I'll just start it off saying, the Ulster County Sheriff's Office was established in 1661. The Sheriff of Ulster County is an elected official, 4-year term, who is the chief law enforcement officer of the county and is the county's conservator of the peace in accordance with county law, section 650. The Ulster County Sheriff's Office is accredited by the New York State Law Enforcement Accreditation Council. I wonder what the heck that is. And is comprised of 3 main divisions: Criminal Division, Corrections Division, and Civil Division. So we'll go back and forth, and maybe if I'm clever, I'll have me on when I'm speaking. That doesn't get any bigger. So let's carry on here.
You're going to have one. Oh, she just wants to remember all and go over what we talked about.
So let me just get your names. It's Joe Barton.
Right, Joe Barton.
And your name?
Paula Gloria.
Paula
Gloria.
Gloria.
Socrates. T-S-A.
T-S-A.
C-O-N-A-S. Barton.
And a home address?
1610 Glasgow Turnpike, apartment C2, Woodstock, New York.
Okay. 12498.
Yeah.
And a phone number?
845-901-1114.
Alright, and then what is the date that you got arrested?
December 22nd, our first anniversary and my 60th birthday.
December 22?
Yeah.
2011.
That's my sister's birthday also.
Oh, really? For some reason they had it down as December 20th, and they call me Paula G. Barton. I don't usually go by that. But anyway, they had so many mistakes.
What's the charge?
We're not sure exactly. Originally, it was felony.
What's it say in the paperwork?
There's different paperwork. They lowered it. Two felonies.
The original was two felony charges each.
No, I had one more than you did.
All right. Give me what you think the charges are.
Well, they dropped them down to misdemeanors.
All right. So first they were felony what?
In the 4th degree.
Criminal possession of marijuana.
Right.
Yeah.
Criminal possession, marijuana, 4th degree, and then reduced to
misdemeanors, but that we've never seen the paperwork that says what misdemeanors are.
Okay. Who's your lawyer?
We're our own lawyers.
What makes you think they've been reduced to misdemeanors?
Because they told us.
Well, they didn't indict us in Kingston, and they...
Right, but it's still within the 6 months. But be that as it may, they told you that now it's not going to be charged as felonies?
Right. They said Kingston's not going to indict.
Okay, and where is it pending? In Woodstock Court?
No, Hurley.
Hurley Court? Okay. Are there any charges other than possession?
Yeah, they charged her with obstructing an officer in his...
That was the problem.
Obstructing governmental administration?
It's a felony. I was dragged out of the car, beat on the hood. When at first I said I had a tape recorder, because I carry this, as I've got a daily television show on community affairs, and by how they were treating Joe, it was very terrifying. And I said to him, I'm taping this. He said, no problem, I have a mic and there's a camera. So he didn't seem disturbed by that. But when I told him after how they treated Joe that I was afraid of him and I didn't know who he was, he just went berserk.
He was in plain clothes?
No.
In uniform?
No, he was in uniform.
No, but I just know the law, and nobody would do what they were doing to Joe if they were...
What was it they were doing that you were having a problem with?
He arrested me. All right, I'll tell you a story. He pulled me over for a taillight out. I had a taillight out. Then he said, get out of the car.
Excuse me, it took 5 minutes before he came over to us after the...
Yeah, he pulled us over. He sat for a long time.
Okay, then, so they were running plates.
Yeah. And then he came and said, get out of the car. I assumed at that point that he was going to try to give me a drunk test, blow in this or walk a line, so I got out of the car. Then he said to me, go sit in my car. I said, am I under arrest? He didn't answer me. So then I said, if I'm not under arrest, I'm not going to sit in your car. Then he said again, go sit in my car. And I said, if I'm not under arrest, I'm not going to sit in your car. Right? And then by now, Paula was hanging out the window taping. And I think she said to him, I'm taping this. Right?
He said it 3 times, I believe.
Yeah,
am I under arrest?
Then he said to me again, go sit in my car. And I said, if I'm not under arrest, I'm not going to go sit in your car. Then he said, if you don't go sit in my car, I'm going to handcuff you and put you there. Right? I said, am I under arrest? He didn't answer. I said, if I'm not under arrest, I choose not to sit in your car. And then he turned me around and he handcuffed me. And while he was handcuffing me, I yelled back to Paula because she said, I'm taping all this. And then he said, I have a microphone on and there's a camera recording this.
He seemed very nonplussed.
Right. And then when he started to take me to put me in his car, I yelled back to Paula because she was hanging out the driver's side taping. I yelled back to Paula, get back in the car. Get back in your seat. And Paula got back in her seat. Right? Then he put me in the car, handcuffed. I was handcuffed. Now, he still never told me I was under arrest, never read me Miranda.
Right. Didn't have to. You had been stopped. You had been taken in, essentially, within the 4th Amendment, seized because of the traffic violation.
Well, how can you can arrest someone for a taillight out?
Yeah, you can. You can get 15 days in jail.
For a taillight out?
For most moving violations. An equipment violation, maybe not. But, okay.
Okay, then he walked
He
over.
still could have arrested you. Because the Supreme Court now says you can be arrested even for a minor infraction.
Why are lawyers letting this all keep coming there? We're losing more and more rights, and lawyers are really not.
No, don't say that, because lawyers are the only thing that, if anything's going to protect us, it's the lawyers.
That's why I was afraid.
My job.
That's why I was afraid.
Anyway,
because you don't think the lawyers are going to help you?
No, I'm saying that this officer said, it's okay, I'm wearing a mic, and he's videotaping it, but it was very peculiar.
Yeah, it was probably on a dash cam.
Well,
A lot of the cars have dash cameras now, dashboard cameras.
Well, we're hoping he does, because then he went over to Paula's side of the car. He opened the door, right? I didn't hear the conversation. She'll tell you the conversation. I'll tell you what I saw from my position in the car. Then he reached in and jerked her out of the car by her arm. Right? Then...
Wait. He asked her to get out?
Well,
did he ask you or direct you to get out of the vehicle first?
I don't remember. No, I don't think he did.
Well, it's on tape.
Because
what did the tape show?
They wouldn't give me the tape recorder.
They wouldn't give you back your own tape recorder?
No, they wouldn't give me back my own. It was a very terrifying experience.
Right. So when did they take the recorder from you?
At the police station.
At the police station, after it ran out of battery.
All right, so pulled.
Then he
out of the vehicle.
Then he twisted her arm up behind her back and walked her
on
tiptoes with her arm up behind her back from where our car was parked about 10 feet to the front of his car, where he then took her, put a hand behind her head like this, and just slammed her head down on the hood of the car. There's no reason for him to have done that.
So that'll be on their dashboard camera, like you say.
I guess that happened on the front hood?
On the front hood, yeah.
Right in camera sight.
And you haven't requested that video yet?
That's what.
Oh, wait, because you're representing yourselves and you haven't done that.
And we still never pleaded to this. When they said, do you plead guilty or not guilty, we said, we don't stand under these charges, and the prosecutor lacks jurisdiction, and we put in paperwork challenging jurisdiction. That's where it stands, you know. And the judge just wrote us back a weak letter saying that he has jurisdiction. But in order for the court to have jurisdiction, the prosecutor has to prove jurisdiction. The court just can't declare jurisdiction on its own.
What do you think it takes to prove jurisdiction?
A crime.
A crime, a victim.
No.
Our Constitution says that we have a right to know what we're being charged with and have a harmed party.
Yeah, of course. That's why you were given the initial felony charges, right?
Yeah. Okay,
you were given those.
Right.
But proving jurisdiction just means that you were arrested within the jurisdiction of the court, which you were. There's no other jurisdiction they have to prove.
Let's not argue jurisdiction.
You came here and asked questions.
On the civil suit is what we...
Okay.
Then he handcuffed her, brought her around to the side of the car, picked her up off her feet, and threw her into the back seat of the car, head first into me, where we slammed head to head.
Who was the officer that did that?
What's his name?
Kevin Richards.
Kevin Richards.
And he's a...
Sheriff's deputy.
Sheriff.
Oh, then I have to stop right here then.
Why?
Because I have a part-time job as a public defender. I work for Ulster County, and I cannot sue Ulster County or give advice against Ulster County because I'm an employee of Ulster County.
Oh.
So any case that involves the...
So there you go. You can see. They're saying, some apologists will say, well, that's a civil suit, that he can't have that conflict. He can't sue the deputy sheriff who so brutalized me because he's a public defender for the county of Ulster. But how much more awful is that on the criminal level? Because on the criminal level, people are going into prison. And so isn't that a clear conflict when the public defender really can't go against his boss? And that's why people oftentimes will fire attorneys that are appointed for them. But even the attorneys that they do get, who are members of the bar, are also part of a club. So you can see what exactly we're up against. But, this is an age-old problem, and it's got age-old remedies. And the remedy is you have to stand up.